Well, this quick start turned out to be not particularly quick, but that was my own personal problem. Let's talk about how you can keep this quick start going in Raid. Hello, everyone. Bront, CatHerder here. It's fun talking Raid Shadow Legends, and we are here on the brand new quick start account. And I've got it named, I've got it built. It's already up to level 33. I've done quite a bit on it, and I just kind of want to highlight a few of the things that I've done, why I've done them in the order I have, and what you can do possibly to do better than what I've done, but also what you can do to just, kind of tag along and do it at your own pace. Let's get into it, but before we do that, I do want to thank Raid for sponsoring this video. They have a link that we use to start off this account on. You can get some amazing champions, including Elenarl, who's actually really, really good. You can do Ugo, you get Tagore, you get Mausoleum Mage. They're all amazing champions, and you get them all for free with the link below, and use the code KittyCut to get yourself a Cheshire Cat as well. So as you can see here, what was supposed to be a rather quick start to being able to do some of this stuff has gone on though to day 7. But honestly, there's no shame in that. Whatever you decide you want to pace yourself, the game is still here waiting for you. Real life takes precedence. Real life things happen. For those of you who are not aware, I had some real life stuff happen this week. So it's definitely been kind of busy. You can certainly check out that video above. Talked a little bit about that and the community in general. But we're on day 6, almost on day 7. And so this account is glowing on a week old. We don't quite have our first 6-star yet, but honestly, we're about to fix that. As you can see here, I've got, we can remove 2, 3, 4, 5 chickens here, and we can get the Cheshire Cat here to 6 stars. He is going to be our first 6-star champion. He's the one built the best. If I didn't have the Cheshire Cat or somebody like Tholen, for example, that was great at wave clear, I would absolutely make Kale my first 6-star, because making your first 6-star a wave clear champion is going to allow you to farm Brutal Campaign, which is what's going to unlock pretty much easy mode for the rest of us. Now, one of the other things we did get here is we did get a barrel, and since Cheshire Cat has fully mastered already, we're going to throw this barrel in him and make him a 6-star champion. We've already got some challenges complete with that as well, so that is absolutely amazing. So let's go check on the challenges, take a look at his build quickly and what the theory is behind his build early on, and where I've been focusing my energy on this account. So that was one of the champion things right here. So I need to ascend 2 champions to level 3 ascension, and that's probably just going to be some rares that are just randomly around. Maybe it might be some epics, but that is a lot of ascension materials, and I want to get this done fairly quickly. Win a campaign battle using 4 champions at level 50 or higher. Well, I need 5 stars to do that, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. So these 2 can kind of wait, but the rest of this stuff has not been too bad. And as you can see, this is part 4 of 5. This gets me another epic book, and then we'll get a legendary book from the last one of these things, I believe. On the artifact ones here, I mentioned that you want to stick around in normal for a while. This is part 6 of 10, where you have to do something in the sewers of Arnak on normal. And I left this unclaimed specifically to show you where this is kind of where these things kind of end. So all the way in challenge 6, you're still doing stuff on normal. Now you can certainly get past normal, and I've been doing some stuff on hard campaign, but you do need to be aware that normal is something you're going to have to go back to if you're not careful. So doing some of this stuff on normal, and for example, farming some chickens while you're farming for this stuff, can make your energy go just a little bit further. So we'll claim this here, and of course this is where you can get some extra flat energy, which is part of why I've had a ton of energy and not use any gems, and get this book here. And now we're in part 7, beat campaign on normal. Well, I've already done that, and I can claim that. And then now we're at get artifacts from clearing campaign locations on hard or higher. So now I can start doing stuff on brutal, and now that I have a 6-star champion that's level 60, getting this stuff on brutal shouldn't be too bad. And the rest of this stuff's going to require 4-star or better gear, which means you're going to be on brutal. It's probably much easier for you to get this stuff anyway. Now on dungeons, we're still waiting for some of this stuff. Now remove or steal a shield buff from the Magic Guardian. If I don't have the champions to do that, you can certainly go and find some of them. There are champions that do some buff strip. There are some champions that can certainly steal. Heal reduction, you have the same thing as well. In fact, there's a couple of campaign farmable ones that can do just that. Otherwise, you're going to need to find somebody that can remove or steal with this. There are a few of them. There might be even a few that you can do with campaign farm, but otherwise you are looking for that ability. You throw some gear on them, you run this end stage 7 once, and you're good to go. And then the arena has mostly just been a grind. I've actually gotten myself to silver 2, and yeah, I'm getting some of these silver medals, but not having a 6-star has made it a little bit difficult. So we kind of paused to go back and get a 6-star right around this time to be able to finish up some of this stuff as well. This is the only time I recommend upgrading the attack bonus on all affinities except Void. Once this is done, you can then start going for crit damage, or for accuracy, I recommend accuracy first, just because getting some of the accuracy up a little bit will make it easier to build champions early on. Getting accuracy is a lot easier nowadays, but it's still something you do need to focus on a little bit, and having that extra background of 20, 30, 40, 80 accuracy is huge for an early game account. Speaking of gems, I have unlocked the first level of the gem mine, and I have also unlocked the masteries for my Cheshire Cat. So these are the masteries I've gone for the Cheshire Cat. Let me move myself. He doesn't have any support needs here, so I've gone defense tree. And for defense tree specifically, right now I've gone with this particular version of the defense, the AoE damage. It's going to help him survive in waves. This is going to help him possibly remove some debuffs occasionally. This is going to reduce the damage he takes in long fights. So for clan boss, that's going to help a lot. And then this just gives him an occasional counterattack. And for the cat, that can be really good because that can be a huge counterattack. But honestly, I could certainly go with this as well. For arena, this is going to be better, but that's going to be late game arena, and we're not in late game arena yet, so we're building him for right now. For the offense, generally, I am looking for Life Drinker. May not have been too bad if he wasn't in some lifesteal gear. You know, extra damage for people that are less than 40% HP. That's going to kill things off a little faster. He gets more powerful with speed, so Whirlwind of Death made a lot of sense. Increase the amount of damage for dead allies. As a campaign farmer, that makes sense for him as well. Getting extra damage on that A1 seems good. Stacking extra damage here. And finally, we're going to start off with War Master for him. Keep in mind, you have a free reset for these, because eventually for an arena nuker like the Cheshire Cat, you are going to want Helm Smasher. But you don't need Helm Smasher for campaign farming. And for Clan Boss, which is one of the things we're struggling with early on, War Master is going to add a ton of damage. Now, one of the things we've been dancing around a little bit for is the fact that I've got this Cecia on here, and of course I've got a miscreated monster. I have been yeeting a couple of the shards that I was looking forward to. We did actually get a Harrier from the only void we have pulled from this. Actually, I think we pulled 2 voids. I fed the other champion as well. We also have a Bellower on this account as well, and a Doom Screech. That's right, I do actually have the Doom Screech as well. Doom Screech I kept because, you know what? He's got a decent turn meter boost. He's got the passive here for the shield, but here's his turn meter boost here. 30% turn meter boost can be really, really huge in arena early on. So he actually could be a good champion to have built to some extent with some really high speed on him very, very early on, if that's where you end up needing to go. So he's good to hang on to for a little bit. Bellower is a great champion. I got him from one of the promo codes. I highly recommend doing as many promo codes as you can as quickly as possible. One of those things I got, the 5-star chicken, was from the Brotherhood and Raid code, and that was very helpful. Obviously, the Cheshire Cat was from a code. Bellower was from a code. I think it was Welcome Gift was the code for him. There's plenty of good things you can get from codes. And in fact, the code that we're probably going to use next on this particular account is PP500. Why? Well, that's going to get you 500 Polarium play points, as well as some other things here as well. So we can grab this silver. I'll hold on to these things for the time being. With the Polarium play points, well, we're getting a bunch of extra useful stuff right here. And we're close to getting Morag, because Morag, you get another 500 points just for logging on and getting into this Polarium points thing. So we are probably less than a month out for getting Morag, who's a very good champion. Another champion you get for free. And if you find you need the ally attack and the extra nuking, then she's going to be great. And if you don't, well, she'll still be useful for Dwarf Faction Wars for quite a while to come. So it never hurts to get free champions. Plus, you have her that you can save for a champion chase of some kind. So if I need to get 250 points for a champion chase, I can grab a Morag. That's going to help me get an early fusion going. Speaking of early fusions, the fusion for Cassandra happened to be live around this time, and so I've been doing random other things, and I've managed to get a Galapago, or at least I've gotten most of a Galapo. Galapo or Galapago, I want to call him, but it's Galapo. He is actually probably going to be good for this account. He's going to be really good for Faction Wars early on, but he's also going to be champion for 250 points for Champ Chase and possibly going for the first fusion on this account. So I'm going to hold off on him until I feel I need him, either for content where he's going to be really good or for that Champ Chase where I can get those extra points. And most of that has just been doing various events right here. Like you can see here, I've been rolling up some gear. Well, hey, look at this. We're actually going to have enough to get all the rest of this stuff here. So we can collect all of this stuff here if the game is actually going to let me collect it. There we go. I have no idea why the game is kind of slowing down for this stuff. I will save this energy until it forces me to collect it or it throws it in my inbox. Hey, now I've got enough fragments to get myself a nice turtle who could be very helpful for some areas of the game if the champions I've not gotten for free were not already extremely overpowered. Also got a chance to get some of this free stuff from this coalition. Now I need to earn a total of 1,250 points here. I'm not prioritizing this. If it happens, it happens. It would certainly be great. And if not, well, then we won't get this barrel of some of this other stuff. But we're getting close, and as this multiplier gets higher and higher, we have to earn less and less points. So hopefully everyone else will help us out in this one, and we'll be able to get this barrel and some of this other stuff as well. 5-star chicken's going to be huge. Legendary book's going to be huge. Prism shard, you never know, could be huge. But meanwhile, early on, a lot of these tournaments are fairly easy to do. You can see right here, I'm at the lead at 129. I think it was less than 100 points to get the stuff here from this classic arena tournament. Now, not every tournament is going to be that much easier. For example, the Champion Chase tournament here, not any easier for me. So I don't have a lot of points in this. In fact, I pulled the Sacred before this popped up because one of the things that happens, there is an early tournament that you have that can get you some cool stuff, but you generally got to play a little bit. But that tournament lasts for like 2 or 3 days after it finishes, preventing you from getting any other tournaments. So don't expect to see tournaments for the first 5 or 6 days of your gameplay. You will see events, however, once events unlock, which is pretty early on. But tournaments don't unlock for almost a full week. That can certainly impact your ability to get a brand new fusion. But there are other ways to get that fusion as well. As you can see here, sacred shards. If I happen to have 10 of them, I could get a Cassandra guaranteed. And this is something they generally do for almost every fusion. If a fusion happens to start, while you start, you can usually pull 10 sacreds and get the champion. There is no free-to-play way to get those 10 sacreds. Just to be clear, you are going to have to spend if you want those 10 sacreds. If you're willing to spend, you get yourself a fusion champion, you get yourself 10 sacreds, and hey, right now it's a 2x chance of legendaries. That's how I got Cecia. You know what? I'm going to see if I can get one more of these sacreds and pull it during this 2x. So here's another place where I've probably fallen down a little bit. Win one of each type of offensive artifact from clearing the Sooners of Arnok stages on normal. Well, I don't know which one I've missed, although I suspect it's going to be either the weapon, the shield, or the helmet, because I've recently done the quest for the bottom 3 pieces while this mission was active. But if I'd been paying attention, I could have gotten this one done a while ago and moved on further on, gotten these 300 gems pretty early, and done some of these other things that are going to be more locked for the account. So it's going to be a little bit longer on this particular account for Arbiter. But if you're paying attention to these missions, as well as these challenges, and letting them kind of guide what you're doing very early on, you should be able to breeze through them pretty quickly. You'll have plenty of energy. As you can see, I've already stacked up a ton of extra energy again after finally getting under the cap. But you know what? Every time you make a level, you're getting extra energy, you're getting extra gems. You'll keep on leveling up pretty quickly. Right around level 30 to 35 is where it starts to slow down just a little bit. But, you're going to keep on getting some of these gems and energy. And eventually, once you stop getting all that stuff for free, that's when maybe you start thinking about using gems or refills for energy. Got quests right here. These, I'm going to save these as long as possible until I get to level 50, or the weekly stuff is done and I need to pull them to move on to the next week, which is what happened last time. Because I don't want to be delaying this too much longer, particularly because extra ancient shard right here, not sacred, that's worth losing a little bit of energy to get that twice rather than once and wait on it for another 3 or 4 days. The monthly, however, not been a big deal. I do have this energy ready to go if and when I need it. I haven't, so it hasn't been a major problem. I still have a lot of the Call of the Arbiter stuff ready to go. As you can see with the red dots, I have claimed a couple of them, but they were ones that got me things like a 4-star chicken. I think I claimed both 4-star chickens. Just speeds up. I'll get the 50 gems right here too. And that let me get the masteries on Cheshire Cat early on. So I mentioned I want to talk about the Cheshire Cat build. As you can see, I have plus 16 some of his gear. He's campaign farming, so it made some sense. I got kind of lucky with some of the gear I got from the apprentice path. So I actually got a crit rate glove with speed. So that worked very well. This was from the daily login from the shaman stuff. This was from the daily login from the shaman stuff. These are worth raising up. This was also, I think, from the apprentice path. This made some sense for me to level up here. And then these were free from campaign and they just rolled really well. So these made sense to get to plus 16. This is pretty ideal. It's just great. This one's not too bad as well. Decent stats. Would have nice if I had speed down there beforehand, but crit damage was not too bad. Putting Cruel on the Cheshire Cat means he's going to ignore some extra defense and get some extra attack. So it made sense to put this on there. I happen to get a random demon spawn 1-star ring. Probably didn't need to roll it up to plus 8, but I rolled it up to plus 8 and he got some stuff out of it. Honestly, this is going to go away pretty quickly, but until then, it's not like I wasted a ton of silver on it either. I also have Kale in lifesteal gear, but his gear is nowhere near as good. I need to get boots that have actual speed on them instead of boots that are HP that just happen to have a speed roll on them. Would like a percentage attack chest, but a 5-star flat attack chest with crit rate and speed. Not the worst thing you can use early on. Later game, especially once you get him to 6-star, this is going to fall off big time compared to a 40% or 50% chest. But for now, this is pretty decent as he's only a 5-star, so I'm not losing out too much and I'm getting some useful stats out of it otherwise. And the fact that I've got a 10% extra attack on the bottom part here, not too bad. He's got the 4-star gloves you get from the from the login. So I've got those on him as well. I have a shield on somebody, and then you get these shield and this weapon here for free from campaign early on. And then this was another helmet I got from the apprentice path. You get 2 sets of 6 for lifesteal gear. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they are not good. And this was just a ring I got from a daily login. It was better than nothing. It gave him some survivability. So it's kind of been a thing. And really no other champion is built particularly well. They've got gear on to have gear on and to get some stats. I certainly would like more speed on some of these champions, but I've not been focused on building out these champions yet. Now is going to be soon where I'm going to be focused on that. Now that I can start doing brutal campaign, I can farm for more experience, but I can also start farming for 4-star and 5-star gear that I might throw on some of these champions instead of this 3-star gear that I just kind of have. So that's kind of the next focus of this account, and that's what's going to help transform this account into the one that can start farming dungeons. As you can see here, my clan boss needs help. But now that we have the Cheshire Cat at 6 stars and I can start farming the rest of this stuff up, I can eventually level these champions up. And so my next goal is to make sure that the Demon Lord is conquered. So I want to make sure that these 2 guys get up to 5 stars pretty quickly. I've been working on booking Ugo because I think Ugo is probably a better champion to book early on than Tagore. Tagore is still very functional at an unbooked state. Ugo is harder to use because you want to make sure you are landing debuffs at 100%. And, well, she takes a ton of books. So I've been working on booking her up. Elenarl doesn't need books. I'd like to get her to 3-star ascension at some point to make sure that burn on the A1 becomes guaranteed. But other than just investing levels and maybe ascensions, I don't need to invest too much in Elenarl early on, other than because she brings the poisons, the poison explosions, and the burn that's irresistible. She becomes very easy to build to add damage to clan boss early on, so she's a good champion for that early on. Now you might say, Bront, what about Cecia? When should I invest in her? Well, she's very burn focused and AoE burn focused, so she's going to be very, very helpful when I need that AoE burn, but I'm not quite there where I need that AoE burn yet, and I don't have legendary books to invest in her. So until I have a ton of legendary books to invest in her, she's going to sit by the sidelines, which is why I've actually stashed her in the Guardian Ring. I can slowly but surely level her up, and once she hits level 50, she'll still be better than a lot of other champions I have at some content, and I can throw some okay gear on her and get some value out of her. And as I slowly am able to invest in her, maybe we get a better HP burner going. Maybe I do book her and she becomes the first champion that booked, because that would help you advance in Spider up into level 20 and up through level 25. Those burns are going to make Spider significantly easier. So that's going to be very helpful for this account. So there we go. There's a check-in on later on in the account. Could I have done this stuff by day 2 or day 3? Yes, actually, quite possibly. I might have started running lower on energy and or possibly mystery shards. Honestly, mystery shards are a difficult commodity to grab on this type of account. But once you can start leveling those up and getting a ton of those, you can start churning through champions, making chickens, and getting yourself your first 6-star champion. And that's really the big goal, is get your 6 stars done early. So we got the Cheshire Cat done early. The next 6-star is probably still going to be Kale. And then from there, it's probably going to be Ugo, then probably Tagore, and then maybe Elenarl, or maybe we get somebody else other than Elenarl in some of the shard pulling and other event stuff that we might be doing before we kind of lock in on that 5th 6-star. But that's going to make a huge difference on the account. And there's champions that are worth building out to 4-star and 5-star just to get them doing something on the account. We got kind of lucky, as we mentioned, got a miscreated monster. He's actually going to be valuable in this early account. He'll be useful for some faction wars. He's certainly going to be a good tank. And him and Cecia is basically 2 parts of an absolutely amazing Spider team for level 20 to 25. So definitely kind of excited there. Moz Mage will be worth some investments because he can do some cleansing, so he could be very, very helpful for that Spider team as well. Ugo, good all around, decreased defense. Block buff's going to be very, very clutch. You know, certainly working on booking her. I've unfortunately fallen down the rabbit hole of booking this ability a lot, but we're working on it. I'm going to check in on this account one more time, and then I will probably be giving that account away. So if you want to participate in this giveaway and get this account after I have gotten, well, finished Clan Boss, probably pulled another Sacred Shard, and gotten you basically ready to go and through the grind of the initial start of the game, well, let me know down below. You need to make sure you use Quick Start, one word, as a keyword. Comment on this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will pick a winner Friday morning, U.S. Central Time, probably around 10 a.m. And I will announce that winner in the video that will be announced probably Sunday or Monday, whenever that video goes live, but I will do the drawing on Friday. They will have 5 days to claim this account, or else I'll pick another winner. So enter down below. You know, it's not a huge giveaway, but some people like some of these nice little accounts. You can do whatever you want with it, have it away, stash it away, get some of the free champions for logging in for a little while, and who knows, maybe it might be a nice fun challenge to start over without having done the initial grind. You know, who knows, maybe there might be a nice special surprise on here as well. You've already got a Cecia, you've got a miscreated monster, you're almost entirely done with a lot of the really early game grind, and this is where you can start diving into the fun where it is Raid Shadow Legends. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave that comment down below. You guys are absolutely amazing. And until the next video, I am Bront. CatHerder.